Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show. If you have a minute, I have an opinion. Today I try one of the oldest Cantonese roast meats restaurants in Flushing. It's steps away from the New York City subway, Long Island Railroad, and several local bus lines. This is my first time at Shun Won restaurant, a popular local restaurant judging from the crowds. We arrived at the height of the Saturday afternoon lunch rush. We were seated near the entrance on a cold autumn day. Despite the cool breeze by the door, I'll review several items. Join me and see what I eat. You don't want to miss it. Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show, and today I am at a restaurant called Shun Won. It's in the heart of Flushing. We're right next to the Queens Public Library, and it's very easy to get here. You have all the trains. You have the 7 train going up to Main Street. You have the Long Island Railroad going to Flushing Main Street station, and also you have all kinds of buses coming here. I believe Q14, Q15, Q16, and also Q12. So there's many ways to come here. This is one of the traditional Hong Kong style restaurants, one of the Wang type restaurants where they specialize in roast meats. We're going to go through a whole bunch of dishes in that genre, and also some of the classic types of dishes, and I'll show you what the food is like here. Now let's take a look at the Shun Won menu. Now this menu is going to be very big, but I'm going to go through it quickly. First we have breakfast specials. Now this is where you can get all the HTR Fun. I'm sure these are only available in the morning or early afternoon. You have kanjis, rice porridge, and then you have soup noodles with all types of noodles. Wow, they even have a Lai Fun, which is very old school. Now we have Hong Kong style lo mein, roast pork and barbecue. These are the meats only. The roast meats over rice. You have soups. Next you have some hot dishes, lo mein, chow funs, pan fried noodles, old school egg foo youngs, different types of fried rice. Then you have dinner. Here's the dinner section. So you have vegetables, tofu, pork dishes, chicken dishes, all Cantonese. You have beef dishes. You have steamed dishes. Wow, some of this looks really old school. You even have carp. Here's some casserole dishes. And then you have the famous plate rices. Now none of these are over $9. How about that? So you don't even need a lunch menu here. These are all under $9. And finally you have house specials, which tend to be a little more expensive. Alright, the first dish that we ordered is called Hamai HTR Fun. This is basically the dried shrimp HTR Fun, dried shrimp rice roll, and this one has some green onions, and kind of find it hard to find the dried shrimp. Okay, here's some dried shrimp over here. It comes in what appears to be 5 rolls, very generous. I think this portion is about $3.50, and it comes in a pool of sweet soy sauce that you can see. This actually smells very savory, so I can't wait to give this a try very soon. The first dish I'm going to try is the Hamai HTR Fun. Now this is what it looks like. Now they're very generous with this. I see 5 rolls here, and they gave us a pretty nice portion for only $3.50. Wow, that's amazing. Now let's cut this in half and see what it's like. I already love the texture of this. Look how bouncy this is. Now, this is top quality HTR Fun. Why? Because look how slippery it is. When you eat it, it's slippery in the mouth. Very chewy, delicious, and it's not like a starch ball. The dried shrimp that they use here are the super tiny ones, so you can't really identify it until you chew it. There's also some of that dried preserved vegetables in this HTR Fun, which I love because it makes it extra savory. So you have the 2 savory elements, the scallions and the dried preserved vegetables, and also the dried shrimp. It's really good. I love this dish. I love the way they make it here. The dish that we ordered is the beef chow fun. Now the beef chow fun is nice looking. Actually, it's glistening. It's a pretty big plate here. I would say about an 8-inch plate. It's piled up nice and high. There's some sprouts here. There's some beef cut into nice thin slices. There's the wide Chow Fun noodles, not the skinny rehydrated type, but the genuine wide Chow Fun noodles. The color looks pretty good. Can't wait to give this a try. It looks and smells very savory. Okay, the next dish I'm going to try is the Guan Chao Ngao Ho, or the beef Chow Fun. Now, the first test I'm going to give this is a sniff. Yes, there's definitely wok hei here, and I can tell you that it might be very good. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say maybe a 7 in wok hei. Okay, you can definitely taste it. There's a nice soy sauce flavor. It's savory. Wok hei is not overwhelming, but it's still there. It's very good. It's not too salty. And what I like about these noodles is that these noodles are the fresh type, which is nice and broad, nice and chewy, which is the way that it should be. There aren't too many sprouts here, which I appreciate. I don't like it when there's too many sprouts. Now here's the beef. It's sliced nice and thin. The beef isn't overly seasoned. I think it could be seasoned a little more, but it tastes fine. Even though the beef is not overly seasoned, it's still good because there's the velveting in it, so it's nice and chewy, nice and soft. But once again, it needs a little more seasoning, but it's okay because the flavoring on the noodles more than compensates for it. Not bad. Okay, the next dish I ordered is a $20 dish. It contains roast duck, roast pork, and also the roast pig. I asked for fatter slices, so let's take a look at what I have here. Okay, nice. See, we have a nice layer of fat here. Has some crispy skin, so this is a pretty good portion. Next, we have some of the roast pork. Okay, these are actually pretty thin, very thin slice. Not super thick, but there is some fat here, so we're going to try that. And finally, we have the roast duck. Now, it appears that they gave us the leg, and on the bottom, I think I see some of the back of the roast duck. So, a pretty decent portion for about $20. We're going to try all these meats and see what they're like. Now, they also gave us some sauce. Now, this, I believe, is a watered-down hoisin sauce that goes with the instituion, or the crispy pork. The next dish I'm going to try are the 3 roast meats. Now, I'm going to have duck, roast pig, and also roast pork. We'll start with the roast pork. This is what it looks like. This, from what I can see, was probably a very thin slice of roast pork, so it's not the thick type. So let's try this. Very good. What I like about this roast pork is that it's not so marinated that the meat is almost candy, like a jerky. It's not like that. Even though it's very thinly cut, the marination doesn't overwhelm everything. I like that. And the roast pork is nice and tender. It's done well. The next part of this dish that I'm going to have is the roast pig. Look at this. Nice big piece of crispy pork skin right there. Nice fatty piece. And that is what I requested. So I'm glad they honored what I asked for. So let's try this. But before I try it, I'm going to dip it into the sweet sauce, the hoisin sauce. So here it goes. This is excellent. This is what real roast pork should be. It's definitely the belly portion. There's 2 layers of fat in that piece of roast pig. Skin is crispy. That's the way it should be. Even though I ordered a 3-meat dish, it's in a generous portion. There's at least 5 inches of roast pig that they provided for me. And the same is true for the other 2 meats. Delicious. Good savory flavor. And the right amount of salt. Now I'm going to try the thing that I love, which is roast duck, Cantonese roast duck. They gave us a leg portion, which looks like this. I'm going to eat the drumstick portion of it, and we'll give this a try. This is really juicy. That's what I love about it. The skin is nice and lacquered, a little crisp to it, good flavor. A good sign of good roast duck is that when you bite into it, you feel a small explosion of juices, and that's what this leg has. Now, to confirm the goodness of this, I'm going to try some of the back portion of the duck back. Here it goes. Just as juicy. Wow, this is top rated duck. I really like this. And you know, I've read that this place has been around for a couple of decades. so by the quality of the meats that I've had, all three of them, they're excellent. If I were to rate the three meats, I would say the duck is number one, the roast pig is number two, and then the roast pork is number three. But that flavor is spot on. There's a reason why these guys have been around for such a long time. But if you come here and you must get something, get the duck. It's amazing. The dish that we ordered is the yang chow fried rice. Now this is a very basic Chinese fried rice. You're going to have the peas, you're going to have the egg, you're going to have the ham, and you're also going to have some roast pork. It's all fried up into a nice big plate of fried rice. Right now I smell the nice saltiness to it. There's a nice aroma to this, so I can't wait to try this. The next dish I'm having is the HTR Fun, or the yang chow fried rice. And you know, when I showed you the fried rice in my previous section of this video, I didn't show you the entire shrimp. Now look at this. This is crazy. Who uses shrimps this big in yang chow fried rice? Such a great discovery. I was so surprised. So after I dug into that pile of rice, I put it into my bowl and I found this large shrimp. I'll try this. Nice and fresh. Good snap to the shrimp as usual. The rice is good. All the grains are separated. A very light amount of salt. You could taste the component parts, all the hams and the char siu, the roast pork. You can taste the peas and the eggs. I generally like things a little more salted, but this just has the right amount of salt. It's good, I like it. And it comes in a big quantity. I believe this dish is probably only $12.50. But you can feed a giant family. There's portions in there for maybe 4 or 5 people. This is really good. And if you eat this with the roast meats, that's perfect. Excellent. Revisit this Char Fun, this Ha Mai Char. The flavor here is so reminiscent of what I had growing up in the 1980s. The texture, the flavor, it's so old school. So if you're someone about my age, and I won't tell you what age I am, but if you're someone of my age, you would definitely recognize the quality of this. The slipperiness, the texture of this is quite amazing. And it's hard to find, and I'm so glad that they have this here. The new school stuff is okay, but the old school stuff is, I think, a little better. Now I wanted to show you again what I found after I dug up the rice, the yang chow fried rice. You see these giant shrimps? Totally unexpected. You just couldn't see them, but when you dig into that pile of rice, out comes the giant shrimps. And now this is a pretty big plate of rice, so there's got to be at least 10 to 15 of these large shrimps, and only for the price of $12. That's amazing, and you really should get this dish. I'm here today on a Saturday at around 12:30, and this is the height of lunch on a weekend, and there are a lot of people. There are people here waiting for seats. and there's a steady line of customers coming behind me, picking up roast meats to bring home. Now, this particular restaurant is actually pretty big. When I looked at it online, it didn't seem to be that big, but there's an entire row of 4-seater tables in front of me, probably 5 deep. And then on the other side of the restaurant, there's a bunch of round tables. So taken together, this restaurant is much bigger than I expected. Okay, now the meal is over, and I have to say that this restaurant is totally old school. When I ate that Shun Won, I had a feeling of nostalgia, something that took me back 30 to 40 years. Basically, this restaurant made Shun Won in the way that I haven't had in decades. I'm glad I came here. The pictures on the Google reviews are totally correct. This place is definitely old school, but old school in a good way. Now, the other great thing about this place is that you can either come alone or with your family. They definitely can accommodate larger groups and smaller groups. There's also a menu that encompasses a lot of different dishes, a lot of Cantonese dishes across the spectrum. You can get noodle soups, congee, just all the things that a Wong restaurant can provide. I want to thank everyone for watching this video. I also want to mention that if you're traveling to New York City, please subscribe to my channel. You can go through my library of videos and check out all the places I've been to. I'm sure you can find a good restaurant or a restaurant that you enjoy in my list of videos. So come take a look, and better yet, subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video. The final bill was $59, which included tip.